button. And now that we're in session, 10:15, good morning, everybody. I'm actually recording what happens. So anything that I do on the screen gets recorded in a video format, as well as this is recording audio in the room. So whatever the microphone picks up gets recorded. So by the end of this workshop, I will have a video of the whole presentation. So no pictures. The video, the visual content is just what you're seeing up here, but it picks up the audio also. Then by the end of the day, I'll upload this to YouTube. So at the end of this presentation, I'll give you the URL you can go to if you want to refer back to this workshop in that format. So please take notes, but you don't have to because we're digitally taking notes right now. So for everybody else, if you get to socrative.com and enter the room name Fresno Tablet, hit join, you'll be presented with a few yes/no questions. I'm trying to collect some formative feedback so that I get a sense of who my audience is. Yeah?
Do you find that audio recording is pretty good?
It is.
Because it's going through, like, I'm like impressed, I guess, because sometimes when you just try to make a video, I have like the microphone.
Right. No, it does really well, and I have a bunch of these. So as a routine, this is, by the way, the all video all the time session. It's not really the technical title. It's not all about lecturing. I don't know if the schedule still says this is videos for lecturing or something like that. That's what it said previous days. I asked Dermot to change it. I'm not sure if he did. But this is about all different types of ways that you might consider using videos in the classroom. And this is one of the ways I generate videos. So every time I teach, I record everything, I upload it to YouTube. My students can go back and visit it again. Now, if I do this correctly, I'm familiar with this Extron device. So again, this afternoon you get a chance of a few more breakout sessions to go to. One of them is the formative assessment session. This is Socrative. This is one of the tools you'll learn about this afternoon if you want to go learn more about how this works. But this is what I'm seeing on my computer as you're filling in answers. Right, so it's a great way to get feedback. So what I'll do today at the start of class, workshop, whatever you want to call this, I collect some information so that I can maybe fine-tune the presentation a little bit, and then at the end of this workshop, I'll have another one of these to see if you changed your mind or not. Okay. It doesn't have to be anonymous. You can actually ask students to put in their names or student ID numbers, so you can collect, this is all anonymous for you, but you can collect that information, and then of course you would not display it in front of the class. But good way to get some information.
Can you collect it for free, with the free version?
Yes. Yeah, there's some, so yeah, this is another one of those, like everything else, there's the free version and the for-cost version. I think the pro version that you pay for lets you do things like have class rosters, but what you're seeing now is the free version. There's also a limit in class size, so if you're teaching large enrollment classes, that might not work as well. So, the one drawback to this is, looking at these answers, I need to know what the questions were in the first place. So do you already have ideas of how you would like to use videos in your class? Mixed. Half A, half B or so. Let's see. Would you consider creating your own videos for your class? Yes. A, almost. That's good. You're in the right session. I'll show you some ways to use videos you didn't create, too. Would you consider using videos that others have made for your class? Yes. And then mixed on, are you skeptical about the value of videos, and are you concerned about technical aspects? Those are, I expected those. That's common, and that's why we're here. So I've got a full 45 minutes of yammering, but please ask questions at any point, because that's way more useful than me going through this process potentially. So my goals are, oh, by the way, if I switch back to Apple TV, I'm Joe Ross. I'm an associate professor of biology, so I teach genetics, evolution, developmental biology. I was one of the first cohort of Discovery faculty in 2014, I think. And ever since then, I've been using technology in the classroom in various formats. And so I'll show this again at the end, but I've got contact information. Or you can write it down, or you can watch the recording later on YouTube if you want to. If you want to get in touch, I'm always happy to talk details, meet one-on-one, troubleshoot, So I'm here to be a resource for you. Now, the reason that I like tablets is because I think they can be engaging. And this is a tablet. It's an old-timey tablet that my daughter found in a classroom museum in Canada when we were visiting there last summer. But she wrote "School is Cool" on the tablet. That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to be engaging with tablets, and that's one of the ways I think that we as instructors can use tablets to our advantage, or any mobile device, it doesn't have to be a tablet, to get away from students falling asleep in class. Okay, so I use videos in a number of ways in class, and I'm going to explain those in just a minute. So here are some outcomes from the class. So by the end, I'm hoping that you will identify technologies that you can use to create and edit videos, explain ways you might improve education by using videos, and write down lists of pros and cons so you can decide for yourself if you were one of those, I'm not sure if I want to use videos in class. So let's come up with some pros and cons. And then according to Bloom's taxonomy, I always like to have a little bit of, so identify, low Bloom's taxonomy level, explain, and then establish and compare. So we've got some class outcomes or workshop outcomes that are multiple levels of Bloom's taxonomy. And maybe we'll get to the point where you can develop an idea of how you might use videos in your course if you haven't already. And maybe even start getting to some advanced, how would you need to change your syllabus? What sort of accommodations or resources might you need to build into a class to help students succeed in a video-enabled class? If you go to this QR code or enter that URL, you're going to get the digital version of the worksheet that I prepared that will let you take notes and complete those outcomes. So if you want to do that on your tablet or your computer, you can, if you have a PDF reading software, PDF opening software, that will let you download the PDF of this worksheet. If you would like a paper copy, as we go, I'm happy to provide those. Anybody want a paper version? This is lesson number 1 from Discovery classes is don't force technology and always have a backup plan. So if something goes wrong, these can be recycled. I don't usually bring a set for everybody, and once you get 1 or 2 classes into the semester, you'll get a sense for who will routinely ask for paper even though they have digital in front of them. So you can make fewer copies as the course proceeds. Any questions at this point? Any technical issues?
How do we write on it?
Open in copy to Creative Cloud, but yeah, how do we write on it?
How do we write on it?
So here's, classic Discovery class situation. We need tech support. So where's my guides on the go? I'm glad you're helping each other do this. But normally, if you've elected to have a guide on the go in your class, they will be doing this while you're teaching. So you don't have to stop and do one-on-one technical troubleshooting. And the other thing that I would recommend getting back to this changes you might make to your syllabus, especially if this is your first time teaching a tech-enhanced course, which I'm not assuming it is, I now give about a week at the start of the semester of practicing using the technologies. So I'm covering content, but I build in extra time for here's a PDF worksheet, here's how to open it, how to edit it. Because I know that that's a big hurdle, and I know that that's a technique that I'm going to use throughout the entire course. So it's worth the investment of making sure everybody knows how to do it at the start of the semester. And those Discovery guides on the go can help do that in class, especially if you teach a large class. My classes are like 80 to 90 students usually, which is not large, but it's more people than I can help troubleshoot in a 50-minute period. Any technical questions, other questions at this point?
Trying to get signed in to have the technology to be able to do what you want.
Sure. Well, have a paper version.
I don't want the paper. I want to learn the technology.
And
Yes.
me too, so what do you do?
Yeah,
What
just
do
in
you
case.
get so you can type?
No,
Use
I
it.
cannot.
You can't?
More, I'll touch that on more. Save your
file.
While you're working on that, for those of you that are still working on opening the PDF, I'm going to briefly explain the ways that I use videos in my classroom. So a day in the life of my, not necessarily a discovery class, but my discovery class. So I use a flipped approach, which means the students access the content before class, and then during class we do something active. We do worksheets, workshops, activities, think, pair, share, jigsaw activities, and so forth. So the timeline, as in today, I start with a Socrative, an entry activity. I use that to take roll, plus get some feedback about what students understand or don't understand about what they read before class. I'll use explain everything, as I'm doing now, to present, and we'll do rounds of feedback of me, maybe micro-lecturing, students working on Google Classroom activities, PDF activities, asking questions, and then by the end of class, I'm taking that exit poll. Is there something that was unclear so that I know for the next class, what do I need to prepare to talk about that will help answer those lingering questions? And then outside of class, as the cycle proceeds, in particular, students will maybe Zoom with me and have office hours outside of class. That's one technique for video creation that I'm not going to talk about in this workshop, but I noted that there is a workshop later that is using Zoom to do student interactions. And Zoom, the video conferencing app, can record your video conferences. So you have that video as well. Outside of class, students also watch videos that I've created. In particular, on the original schedule, it said Lightboard in the title of this workshop. That's a technology I'll show you briefly. It's available to all of you. It's a technology that's here in the library. It's free, and it's a fantastic way to create videos. And I'll show you an example of that in a minute. I upload those videos to YouTube. Students then watch these micro lectures and mini lectures outside of class, come to class, hopefully, with questions. So that's the flipped classroom approach, and that's how I use videos. Most of the videos I use, I create and I assign students to watch outside of the classroom. So there are a bunch of different types of videos that I use. So this is the boring part where I just talk for a second. So using Explain Everything, the app, I can do all sorts of capture. So not only do I lecture capture, so these are, I know you don't want, these are not clickable links, right? This is like a PDF file, so it's not active. But if you want to type in one of those URLs, you can watch the example videos. So the top one is an example of what I'm doing now, lecturing. This is recording what I'm doing. Another thing that I really love doing that students really love is recording answer keys. So when I give an exam, I have a printout of the exam. It was a PDF first. I created it in Microsoft Word. I saved it as a PDF maybe. I printed it out. I handed it out to the students. Well, I have that digital document. So when I'm creating the key, instead of just handwriting the key and scanning it or posting it on the door, I use this app, Explain Everything, open the PDF file, and as I'm correcting, answer A, wrong, and then I can talk about why choice A for question 1 is not the correct answer. So as I'm actually writing out the key, I'm just annotating over it with my voice. Students then watch the key. They can have the just flat out, here's the PDF version of the static answer key, or you can make a video at the same time and have that students can watch.
So I do something like that, but to further extent when I'm actually grading their papers. So I scan them in digitally and I have them all as PDFs, pull them into an app. As I'm grading and recording, I record the video of that and the audio of me speaking over it as I'm going through giving feedback, and then I just send them those digitally.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, using this or any other technology like Camtasia as a way to audio annotate student work is great. Since what I do is mostly quantitative, it's easy for me to just say this was the right answer, this is the wrong answer, this is how you do this calculation. But I know especially faculty in arts and humanities, literature, for example, creative writing, love to give students that oral feedback because not only is it faster than typing, but you get voice inflection. So the students can better understand what you really mean. If you write something sarcastic, it's hard for the student to hear the sarcasm in the written form, but if they hear you talking, they're more likely, from what my colleagues say, they're more likely to actually listen to your comments, get the feedback, and then react to it. And then office hour capture, same thing. In my office, I have a small digital television on my wall that I connect my tablet to, so it's essentially like this. Students come in, I pass them the iPad, and we draw on the board, we digitize it, and then I record that too and upload that to YouTube, and then students who couldn't come to office hours get the benefit of the answers to whatever questions students came to my office hours and asked. That's an easy way, inexpensive, to create some content. Depending on your discipline, I also like to do some sort of screen capture. So if I want to show students how to use a website or how to use a particular piece of software, I'll record that. And I'll post that on YouTube for students to use. We've got lectures. So that's the light board. What this is, it's also called Learning Glass. It's just a piece of glass that's lit from all sides by LEDs that shine into the piece of glass. You write on the board with fluorescently colored markers, and there's a black backdrop. So it's basically just it's a studio that's downstairs on the first floor of the library, and you can reserve time and go in there and record these videos. And I really do encourage you later to go look at an example of one of these. They're really cool looking. Not necessarily for me, but I've created like 20 or 30 of these over the last 2 years. Now all of my classes in genetics have one of these videos that students watch before class. Try to make them 5 to 10 minutes or else you lose student engagement. But that's fantastic. So in this case, the video camera is on this side of the board pointing towards me. So I'm facing the camera. It's great because the students see you in the shot. So it's a little bit more personal. It's not like this, which is just staring at a blank screen and hearing my voice drone on. And then so I write normally forward, but if I write A, B, C, D, E, and you're the camera, what do you see? Which direction am I writing? I'm writing from your right to left, but it's going to look backwards to you, because it looks normal to me, so it's going to look backwards to you. So then after Eric West records the video, he just flips it this way, so that the writing looks normal to you, and I look backwards. So in this picture, if you know my right side from my left side, you can tell I'm asymmetric. You can tell that I'm actually backwards in this video when you see the video. But the writing all looks forwards. It's a really great interactive way to get students to be a little bit more engaged because they see your face in a video, if you want to record your own videos. Any questions?
How impacted is the scheduling for the use of this?
Very few people use it. Yeah. Now, it will get more impacted now that I've told you about it, but Eric says there are probably 3 to 5 faculty on campus that use it on a regular basis, but the nice thing is that once you've created the videos, you've made the videos, so you don't need to use it anymore. You could go make new videos or revise videos. Since I post these on YouTube, sometimes people from around the world catch mistakes that I made in my videos, so I have a short list of videos I need to go re-record because there are mistakes in the videos, but that was a good learning experience for them and for me. Another thing that I like to do is to use Apple's Clips app. You may not be an Apple person, but you can use any sort of video creation software you want, even explain everything if you want to. I make short little 30-second to 1-minute videos before every class. So I call these trailers. They're like movie trailers. Here's what you should expect we're going to learn in class today, just 30 seconds. I say, please watch this before class. It helps students understand what we're going to be talking about. And at the end of every one of these 30-second videos, I ask a question. I say, please come to class ready to discuss this question. Right? Just simple little things. It doesn't take very long at all. And the really nice thing about Clips, the Apple app, is that it creates captions for you while you talk. So live captioning is what it's called. Other platforms also do this now. Apple was the first one to roll that out a couple of years ago. So captioning is something we should definitely talk about before the end of the session. So there's a few different ways I use videos in my classes. Oh, I meant to test this. Before class, I should have tested to see if the audio actually works. Let's see. Will it work? Hey, look, it's a video of me. Oh, it's not.
Did you turn it up?
It's not going to show the video. I was afraid of that. Well, I could show you what it is, but this is the latest thing that I've been working on. So you can't, for some reason, you can't see the video, but the latest thing I've been working on is making interactive videos. So once you've created a video, or if you've found a video on YouTube that you really want to show your students and you don't want to make your own video, there are a series of different tools you can use to embed, say, multiple choice or free response questions in the video. So this one that I'm using is a website called playposit.com. It's free. There's like everything else, there's the free version and there's the pay version. The free version lets you insert questions that are multiple choice and maybe true, false. If you pay, then you get to have open response questions and a bigger series of more advanced types of questions that you can embed into any video. If it's hosted on YouTube, if you've made the video, you can upload it and embed these questions. It's a great way to get students, maybe outside of class. Did you actually watch the video before you came to class? Embed some questions in. In this tool, if I remember correctly, there's a dashboard on the website where I can log into the website and look at the responses. There are other tools like PlayPosit that export Google Sheets with the class responses. So there are great ways to make more interactive videos. And I'm sorry you can't see the video playing, I'm not sure why, but I can say, let's see, when do I like to have students watch videos? All of the above. Submit. I got it correct. And then the video will keep playing. Okay. So for those of you that are maybe video skeptics, what are some of your concerns? Not about the technology necessarily, but about videos themselves in a classroom setting. Have any particular concerns?
So I actually like to have my students watch them at home because they tend to be very lengthy, like 2-hour videos of the masters doing therapy with, people, so.
Yeah.
And they're old videos.
Yep.
So the crazy hair and such. So, I used to use portions of them in my class, but cutting up portions was always, it felt choppy and stuff. And so I've just kind of resorted to watch this at home because I don't want to waste the time doing that in class. But,
Right.
is there a better way?
Does anybody have a response? Good time to collaborate.
Well, I have the same concern about using videos inside the classroom where even when I see a video and I look at the little timestamp on it and it says it's like 6 minutes long, that's too long. Right? It needs to be like a minute at most. And if it's going to be longer, you need to chop it up and break it up into pieces, pause it. Because if a student isn't engaged those first 30 seconds, then the next 5.5 minutes, they're still not going to be engaged in it.
Totally true. Yeah, it's difficult to show long videos in class, I find. That doesn't mean it can't be done. This is all right, 1 opinion, 2 opinions, 3 opinions, but at some point we'll get to a consensus about what works and what doesn't. But another problem that I've encountered with doing videos in class is that it's loud. In one of my classes, 80 students all watching a video. So they've all started it at slightly different times, and some of them don't have earbuds, so it's just this cacophony.